Nigerian's budget, FGN budget 2026, has a Sukuk component there in. That's a national document. So at this moment, it is at growth and integration stage. Our plan or our vision is that by 2027, it's going to get to the maturation stage. Without our support, it's not going to get there. But this area has grown over the year. It is about improved transparency. And the last is strengthened resilience.
As part of its vision and commitment to accelerating the growth of the non-interest finance industry in Nigeria, Arthur Group formally presented its corporate platform to its clients, industry stakeholders, and investing community. Dr. Bashir Ushodi, the Group Managing Director of Arthur Group, in his opening remarks, identified the gaps in non-interest finance that the company plans to address in the country.
So why are we even here? Why are we talking about all of this? Sukuk signing. Commercial papers, we checked. There is no Sharia compliant commercial paper that is listed today. Except my records are wrong. There's no Sharia compliant commercial paper that is listed. So if somebody wants to trade money from the Middle East or from North America, they're not going to find it. So the purpose of this is, let's have a robust index that gives sound market information so that people can trade money very quickly. Crowdfunding. You know, there are some young guys, they have crowdfunding platform, they don't even have SEC license. They started 2 years ago. I know one of them has 2 billion in their portfolio. 20 billion. Young guys in their 20s, crowdfunding platform, no SEC license, people invest in trickles into their portfolio. And there are many of them like that. I'm not going to mention names. Our funds, yes, you can boast that we set up this fund in Stanbic, we set up this fund there. Are they listed? So PFAs, I'm not going to talk about PFAs today and how much they control. They control trillions. Last time I checked, almost $30 trillion naira, right? But these funds, fund 6 is just about 200 billion. That's tiny. So it means our funds are not listed, right? So they're not attractive to PFAs. They're not attractive to them. Why? Why would they want to put money in an unlisted instrument? So again, the purpose of today is, yes, move from Trust Alpha to Alpha Group, where we have our new strategy is to partner more with people. So where we have deficiencies and where we're weak, we lean on others, right? With ideas, you know. If I can channel $200 million into the last place I worked, can I channel $30 million into my new entity? Or 500? Maybe not. We need to build that with others like you.
Given his remarks at the event, the chairman board of Arthur Group and 15th Oniru of Iruland, His Royal Majesty Oba Abdul Wasiu Omogbolawan Lawal, CON Abisogun II, asserted that the company was contributing to the growth of a financial system that is connected to the real sector.
Non-interest finance, which sits at the heart of Arthur Group, is not a new idea. It is rooted in principles that value partnership, responsibility, and shared outcomes. What is new is the increasing relevance of these principles in today's world. Across the globe, the governments, institutions, and investors are looking for financial models that are sustainable, ethical, and resilient. Nigeria is no exception. Auto Group was formed to play a constructive role in this evolving landscape. Our focus is on building market infrastructure, supporting institutions, and strengthening confidence through sound governance and credible platforms. We are not here to replace existing structures, but to implement them by expanding the range of tools available to the market. Today, we formally introduce 3 initiatives that reflect this commitment. The Auto Islamic Finance Market Index, which provides structured insight into the development of Nigeria's non-interest finance market, and Al Aman Auto Commercial Paper, which demonstrates our practical engagement in non-interest capital market instruments. These initiatives are guided by one principle: that growth must be built on clarity, discipline, trust. Markets thrive when information is reliable, rules are respected, and institutions act with integrity. Author Group is committed to upholding these standards.
Dr. Shakiruddin Taiwo, Head Research and Policy Analysis, Nigeria Economic Summit Group, provided insights on Nigeria's Islamic finance industry from niche to a national pillar.
This is how the market has grown over time, Islamic finance market. At this stage, the market is assessed based on author Islamic Finance Market Index. We are currently at the growth and integration stage as far as Islamic finance is concerned in Nigeria. I am sure there is no institution, government that is not interested in Islamic finance. I'm not sure today. Whenever they are developed, even Nigerian's budget, FGN budget 2026 has a Sukuk component there in. That's a national document. So at this moment, it is at growth and integration stage. Our plan or our vision is that by 2027, it's going to get to the maturation stage. Without our support, it's not going to get there. But this area has grown over the year. It is about improved transparency. And the last is strengthened resilience. It is very key. So it is what we see. It's a global trend thing. The market is expected to grow to 5.6. We are thinking with what we see in the market, by 2026, this market will add $1.9 billion to that market. That is what we see at the auto group. And we know there is a global ambition we did with our 500 million US dollars sukuk that we have. We know that the government is saying we want to then go to do this. We're seeing dumpling ecosystem. They will launch a lot of products here today, and other people also developing products as well to dampen the market, to ensure the market grows. And for us, it's clear. The message is clear. Islamic finance market, even from the index, shows is a mature market. I didn't say matured. It's a mature market. It's intentional. So it means we need to put the D to the front. We need to do all effort to ensure that D is there. But it's a mature market. It's a sustainable model for growth, for development, for support of enterprise MSME. It's a sustainable model. It is what we can use to grow this economy. And it has a lot of unfolding opportunities for us. So for us, we want it to transit, though it has done that, from just being a niche market into a strategic pillar of our financial system, poised to play a defining role in financing inclusive and sustainable national development goal.
The event also featured presentations on non-interest finance products and services, new projects, and a robust panel session.
So the problem we had was that Islamic finance professionals appreciate problem framing. And for years, Nigeria has made progress in sukuk issuances, non-interest banking, takaful, and then Islamic funds. But yet, one fundamental element that was missing and remained unsolved was that all of these are done through a conventional structure trusteeship.
So from your deal experience, where do non-interest structures create genuine commercial advantages, and where do you struggle to compete with conventional financing? I'll say majorly when it comes to the structuring of the transaction. So in terms of we've seen various structures in the market, particularly for the Sharia compliance instruments, in terms of the infrastructure related transactions, real estate, and all of that. These are transactions that are backed with real assets, and which is what Sharia compliance instruments are usually very big on, if not the main thing.
There are no non-interest commercial papers listed on any of the exchanges. As of today, yes, but just before now, we had one that was listed, but I mean, it had matured, right? But beyond that, you would then see that it is quite difficult for investors to go in, I mean, to come out of the investment. And one of the things that investors always look at when they're trying to invest in instruments is their exit. Even for private equity, the first thing they're looking at is what's my exit. So if the major instrument in the non-interest market today is the Sukuk, which is a 7-year instrument or a 10-year instrument, and then the smaller ones, the commercial papers are shorter, so they are not really uh, going to be traded. But the Sukuk, then you have to take 7 years before you can exit when the liquidity is not really there. So, and I believe that there are some works that are being done on that currently.
In terms of challenge to liquidity, I think, in Nigeria, when we start something, there is this belief that if I buy sukuk, I must hold it till maturity. And that is not the standard. And for many reasons, you even see that in Islam, you might need to administer somebody's estate. And if that person had sukuk in his portfolio, you have to sell it. So that is a major thing that people need to understand, that if I buy a security, I don't necessarily have to keep it till maturity. If I have a need for fund or for capital, I can actually take it to the secondary market and sell. And that is why we at the NGX provide that platform where if you have any of the listed security and you want to sell, you sell today, you get your money back T+2, 2 days after that sales. So we need to let people know that if you buy this instrument and those instruments are listed, you can actually exit.
So we know the conventional market is developed, but we know we are there. But what we are playing is catch-up game. And in policy, when you play catch-up game, you keep working at the suboptimal level. And that's what has happened. What we are doing is catch-up game. There's a fund by the federal government, which we are aware of. Instead of us bringing up the non-interest window component to actually come along with the conventional, we wait. Then there's this, we'll now start fighting to then catch up. Then a little chunk of that huge fund will now say, okay, it seems you like Wala. Yeah, take this small one and let us. So the catch-up game would need is a big policy issue. And I'm saying institute like the Institute for Finance needs to come up policy positions. We are starting 2026. You have to be clear to say, FGN, you have said you are raising sukuk on what basis, and you are pushing. So we do that very well at where I work, the NESG. We are think tank based thing. So what we do is to serve as the thought leadership is not there. So we keep to the catch-up game. So that's the first one, and that has to do with the depth knowledge of the market. You have few qualified experts in that field.
Highlight of the event was the formal launch of the Nigeria's Islamic Finance Market in 2025 report by the Arthur Group. Dr. Bashir Oshodi and the 15th Oniru of Iruland speak further on the new direction and strategy of Arthur Group.
Arthur Group has been in the pipeline for a while, but more importantly, more recently, we found the need to create, to rebrand, to brand in the most dramatic fashion, with an index, learning very much from the previous index that has been released in the market. But we also wanted to create an avenue for local and foreign investors to be attracted to the market, to the industry. Today, I'm going to showcase the way the industry has grown over time. We think it should be better, right? We think with sound market information, you're going to be able to see the kind of, the expected funds in that market. And of course, we also expect to target the right market, right? The right market in terms of, if you like, asset creation. Those at the bottom of the pyramid are still not getting finance, they're not getting access to it. Non-interest banks, financial institutions, fund managers have been pursuing large ticket transactions. Good, very good. But again, you start to look at what we call the Makasudi Sharia, the primary purpose of Sharia, which is to touch lives. We're not seeing that. You see the fintechs, the microfinance fintechs having a lot more achievement in this area. And it's almost unbelievable the dramatic increase, or the way they've expanded or grown within a very short period, the same period that you had Islamic finance. These other entities have grown much faster within that period of time. So we feel that with sound market information, we'll be able to achieve that height, and very quickly for that matter. That's the primary purpose of all of this.
If you consider the population growth and you now look at the supply side of housing, then the demand side, you see that we still have a long way to go So there's a need for us to have a structure in place. The structure whereby there won't be, strain on the cash flow. A structure whereby we have patient capital follow infrastructure, and you know it's not every time you'll be looking for short-term investment. You need long-term structure whereby a lot of opportunities can be, gathered, and I believe that will bring about development in the rail asset. It will also bring development in infrastructure, and generally there will be a commensurate economic development. A lot of people will benefit, and I believe that's what the auto group stands for. That's what the auto group will do, and is the model that is sustainable.
The non interest finance industry has the potential to catalyze financial inclusion and support Nigeria's economic development. Arthur Group's repositioning is a welcome development as it will lead to innovative products and services to scale the non interest finance industry.